Hello, welcome back to Heather's Space. Today I am wearing bright red lipstick in order to try and disguise the fact that I had a terrible night's sleep last night, so there are massive bags under my eyes and my skin is awful. Today is all about the red lippy and mainlining coffee. To make up for the lack of a decent project in last week's video, and after talking about decorating those plant pots, I thought I would actually get on and do it. A quick recap, if you didn't see last week's video, I bought a load of plain, cheap terracotta pots to decorate because I'm really skint at the moment, so I can't afford decent, gorgeous plant pots. And I had a fun afternoon at my kitchen table with some pots of paint, paintbrushes and a couple of marker pens. First up, I took just a very small terracotta pot and I just used white matte emulsion to paint a nice white zigzag on there. I ended up just painting the bottom of the pot just plain white. Next up, I used some of the black Valspar paint that we used on our living room wall. I'll pop the link to the blog post about that below because our black living room wall is one of my favourite things in our house. I started off by painting diamonds around the rim of the pot and then a little bit at the bottom. But later on I decided it looked just a little bit messy, a little bit fussy, and I painted it over, so there's just two big bands of black paint. As of all my projects, I maybe didn't do quite as much preparation as I could have done. I didn't fully plan out my designs, I just thought I'd have a little go at them and see what happened, and worst comes to the worst, I thought I could just paint them completely plain. Then I found some of the grey Dulux paint, the one that's on the wall behind me, and I decided to paint one of the really big terracotta pots just completely plain grey. Someone had suggested this to me either on my blog or social media, I think it was Little Green Shed. I then decided to get messy with the next one. I used the same grey paint, but instead of painting the whole pot, I painted around the rim, and it's quite runny, that paint. It started dripping down the edges and I just thought I really like those drips. So I decided to go with it and I just went all the way around the rim and let those drips really pour down the edge. But my favourite of the quick DIYs to update the pots definitely has to be what I did to a very cheap Ikea pot. I think they're called Kardemumma pots. That's a fun one to pronounce, I'll pop the link below. I think this one was £7 and it was just plain white, and then all I have done is used a Sharpie to add these scallops. It's quite reminiscent of a print by Firm Living. I wasn't too anal about making sure they were all the same shape. I quite like them being a little bit uneven, and this pot actually had ridges in it, so it had lines that I could easily follow, so that was super easy. And what I loved about using the Sharpie is that I could sit and do that just in front of the telly, so I finished it off in front of the telly that evening. And then I also found that I had some of the really little pots from the same range in Ikea. Last night, while I was watching my new obsession, Making a Murderer on Netflix, I just added some little zigzag details to that one. I did try using some other Sharpie colours, but you could really see the pen lines, so I might try and finesse that if I can, because it'd be really nice to do some pots with different coloured scallops. And next time I go to Ikea, I'll definitely be picking some more of these pots up to decorate. They're great for around my house and I think they would make great gifts too. Final very quick and easy idea that I had was something that I saw at a press show. They had just simply wrapped some fabric around plastic plant pots. I actually had the bottom of a leg of jeans left when I made a denim table runner, so I just cut the bottom of the thing off and popped the pot into that. The kids thought it was hilarious, but I think it looks quite effective. I've tied some garden twine around the bottom to hold it in place, and then I did the same thing but this time with just a piece of hessian, cut it to size and then tied that on. I'm really into chunky knits and that sort of texture at the moment, and I've lost one of my socks, so I have an odd sock knocking around, and I thought I could put it onto a pot. So I'm just gonna pull it over, pull that right up. There we go, little knitted plant pot. So there you go, a few easy updates for cheap and simple plant pots. If you've liked this video, please give me the thumbs up, even if it's just to cheer me up. Subscribe so that you don't miss any of my videos, and I will be back here again next week. Bye!